Welcome to another episode of SNES Chronicles. EA Sports Network. That's before it was called EA Sports. John Madden Football. A sequel or adaptation of the original, which was released on a number of systems. And that's before they started naming them by year. This game fell in love with Mode 7, but it uses it well. It's the first game to adopt this view, before it was on the side. Technically, it's kind of impressive. The way the plays appear while the game is still running, the fact that you can see the windows when throwing. The sounds are nice, voices are clear, the sound of the ball being catched is particularly satisfying. But there isn't any music, it could have been an option. So technically it's nice, but the colors are kind of bland and it's not really appealing to look at. The frame rate is also kinda low. This might not surprise you much, but I'm not really a sports guy. And football is kind of a complicated game. I know the basics, but plays and formation is kind of a mystery to me. So when asked to choose, I usually go with Madden suggestions, which is always the B option. This game has everything a football game should have. You can choose your sets, formations, and play. And there's a lot to choose from. You can even call an audible, which lets you change your play at the last minute. Once the game starts, you control one of the players and can switch between each. This is where the game kinda loses its charm. It's a little chaotic. Honestly, it kinda represents a typical football game. It's sometimes difficult to tell which player you are, and some of your players seem to always be in the way. I find that playing offensive is much more involved than the defense. It's kind of expected. Even if I always use the recommended plays, I still had a feeling of control over the game. But there seems to be a lot of randomness. Passes, interception, blocking can fail miserably, and you can even fumble. I guess it's not really random, it must depend on the player, the field type, or the weather, which is nice. Yeah, the addition of weather is really nice. One thing that seems sorely missing is the distinction between players. Players come and go on the field, but you never really know who is who. They all look the same. There's a lot of teams, but there are no official team names. They didn't have the rights yet. But from what I understand, they still use the real teams and their stats, just not the names. Of course it has two players, you can even play together on the same team. Playoffs are only one player, but you'll be able to continue with a password. So I'm not really a sports game kind of guy, but I still had fun playing this. A game is a game, I guess. But if you're familiar with football, you'll probably appreciate it even more. This game must have done something right, it kinda became a thing. I'm sure you've heard of Madden Football. They're releasing their 30th installment next year. If you're a fan of the new installments, you should check out how it started. And check out how other games started by following me through all the games on the Super Nintendo by release date. See you soon, and remember, have fun, peace! And look at that! Credits in the game and on the title screen. Nice. And it seems that Mr. Madden really worked as a designer for the game. Good job! If you appreciate, please like and subscribe. There's also a Facebook page, and every episode is available in French.